Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to briefly talk about pointers and references. In this week's content you can see some reference material about pointers and references here. It's a little bit of a confusing topic for anyone that is new to programming, and it's not a concept that we talk about in other languages like C# or Python maybe. But it is good. It is something that is very special to C++ that we have discussed about. It's something that is most talked about. So pointers and referencers. Why am I talking about them together? Because they both talk about this ampersand. Okay, this is an operator, ampersand. So let's talk about pointers. So when you say something is a pointer, let us say you declare a variable ptr. It's of integer, and then you put this little asterisk sign. Let me just write straight. So if I say int star ptr, if I say like this, okay, this star denotes that it is a pointer. What does that mean? Instead of saving the value of some data, it is going to store the address of another variable. So this is going to be like the envelope that holds the address, and then the content of this envelope are going to be somewhere else in another variable. Okay, think of it as an envelope that has the address. Okay, it has the address of this variable. Okay, this variable, let's say this variable is called as x. It has a value 5. Okay, the address of this particular variable is going to be stored in this pointer. Okay, so anytime you're manipulating this pointer, you will also be manipulating anytime you're going to be manipulating the content, the value inside, you're going to be directly affecting this x. So they are going to be tied to each other. So that is what a pointer is. A pointer is basically a variable that stores the address of another variable. A reference, on the other hand, is actually just two variables are referring to the same, like it's like an alias. A reference is going to be like an alias. So you could refer to this guy or this guy, it is the same. Okay, so let me just say how we are going to be accessing them. They both will be using the ampersand, because see, for example, if this variable is called as y, this reference variable is called as y. So if this guy is going to be referring to this guy, so this is denoted like that. Okay, so reference variable. Okay, here's a little program I have to calculate commission. A salesperson has salary and his sales goals, and depending upon how he performs, he gets a commission, and then we can add the commission to his total income, and then we'll be happy and all that. So in this particular example, if you look at it, I do have based on the sales, we are modifying the commission. But what if we also want to modify the salary? One way is you directly send the salary variable here. So you will say int sal, and then here you'll be sending the salary. So what will happen is two variables will be created. So that is where we talk about scope. So this is the main program. It has its own memory, and then salary sits here, and then that is going to hold a value of 10,000. Okay, when I call the subprogram function, it has its own variable called sal. Okay, that is going to have a value of nothing for now. Okay, when I call the function, this value of salary from this 10,000 will get copied from salary to sal. Okay, if you change sal, if sal gets changed, salary will not be affected. Okay, why? Because it is called as scope. Okay, there is scope definition here. They play in their own playing field. Okay, the only value that you can change is if you return a value and overwrite it. So the salary cannot be modified in this function. This is the function, this is the main. Inside the function, you can make a copy of the salary in another variable and change it all you want. Let's make it into 5,000 instead of 10,000. But this will not affect what is in the main program because of the scope. Okay, the scope means this salary is only applicable to this guy. This sal is only applicable to this guy. It is like having your own pockets, right? What's in your pocket is yours. What's in your friend's pocket is theirs. You can choose to give them money or pay for a service or receive money, but you know, it's pretty local, right? What you have in your wallet is yours. What they have in their wallet is theirs. Similarly, these variables are very specific to the scope in which they are created. When I mean scope, I mean like who owns that. So salary is owned by main, sal is owned by function. So what do I mean? So you can see sal here is for this calculate commission function. Salary is defined by main. Okay, they both have their own room. But if there is a situation where I want to change the value of the salary directly without making another copy here, okay, that is when we can use pointers and references, both of them. Okay, they both can accomplish that. So if I take this address, right, this address where it is located, address of the salary, and put it in a variable called pointer, and if I send that pointer as a to this particular function, if I send pointer, whatever happens to pointer will affect salary. Okay, so for example, I have salary 10,000. So let us say I have a pointer that is going to be pointing to the address of salary, and I send this pointer to a function, and the function changes pointer. So when this pointer goes, it is holding the variable that holds the value. It is not holding a value, it is holding the variable that holds the value. So no matter where you change salary, the pointer value will continue changing because it is only holding the location where 10,000 is stored. Okay, so if somebody makes this into 4,000, okay, when I come back to the main function, this value will automatically be 4,000 now. Okay, so I am not capturing, I don't care about this 10,000. I care about this variable and its location, its address. Okay, whatever the address is gets stored in a pointer. So it doesn't matter what is the value of that variable. As long as you are able to access that location, you can change the content of that location. It's like knowing the address, right? If you know the address, you can find the person. You don't have to know the name of the person. You know, if you know the address, even if you don't know the name of the person, their social security number, date of birth, doesn't matter. You don't know how they look, you can still go and locate them. It's like that. So you just saw how I defined it. So you have to say, if this is for salary, I will say it is int. This is the symbol of pointer, int star pointer. This can be any name of variable, any variable name. I like to use pointer because it is a pointer. It is unique because it is going to hold the address of another variable. Okay, whose address is it going to store? It is going to store the address of salary, address of salary. So that is why we have this ampersand here. Okay, from then on, if you want to capture the address of the salary, you call it as pointer. If you want the content, you call it as star pointer. Okay, so think about it. We don't care about the address, we want the actual value. So instead of having two variables like this, what we are going to do is we are going to create a pointer to salary. Int star pointer equal to ampersand salary. What do I mean by this? I want to track where salary is. I am capturing the address. Now I'm just going to send that pointer to this function. So this function is now going to take my pointer Okay, and whenever it wants to change the value of salary, it is going to use the pointer. So think about it. I want to change the value of the salary. So if my sales is greater than 10,000, 100,000, I'm happy. My salary has to become 14,000. So I want to add 4,000 to my salary. So you would use sal pointer, the content of sal pointer, right? Okay. If you don't use the star, it is going to change the address content. You don't want that. So if I make this, it's 2000, otherwise my performance is poor, nobody cares. So I can use the pointer content of sal pointer, which would be the content of salary, right? So I just want the content and I just want to, now because I changed that, it changes what is inside salary. Okay, now let's see. Salary. Now my salary should have been updated. Okay, by using that my salary should be updated. Let's give 120,000 as the commission. What is the commission here? Sales is 120,000. If sales is 120,000, so my commission is 12,000, my salary became 4,000. So it went through this logic. So if you see, it just by I am printing salary. I never touched salary, but its content got changed because accessing salary is the same as accessing star pointer. Okay, they both are the same. Okay, accessing address of salary is the same as accessing pointer. Okay, I will just show you what I mean. Ampersand salary is the same as addressing pointer. Okay, this won't quite work because we need to, oh, this will work. I just have to put the end line. Okay, now let's see. So when I print salary and star pointer, it's the same as, they both will be the same. If I print ampersand pointer, it will be the same. So let's see here. So you have to remember the usage. See how they are 14,000, 14,000. Whether I say salary or star pointer, it is the same. Whether I say ampersand salary or pointer, it is the same. Okay. So when you want to take the content of the address stored in a pointer, so let us say content of address in a pointer. Okay, you want the content means you put a star. If you want the address alone, you don't put any star. With the, so if you put star pointer versus pointer, that's the difference. Okay. Okay, the next concept is called references. So this is just an alias you create for a variable. For example, you have sales. You want to modify sales. Suppose, let's say you want to modify sales, and maybe this is a situation where you don't want to use a pointer. Basically what happens is you just create another alias so that you don't create another variable. You are just going to like assign another name to the variable as opposed to storing the address. So storing the address is the pointer. So when you say pointer and then you have a variable, so this is the location, this is the location, right? And then this has the content, so this points to this address, and this is storing address. A reference, on the other hand, is just another name, and it is just pointing to this variable. It is just another name. If you think about it in the compiler, it is just another name. Okay, so let's look at a reference variable. So if you want food to be a variable and you want to reference it in another variable, you just put an ampersand in front of the variable to make it as the same. So if you say food, if you say meal, it doesn't matter. It is going to be referring to the same variable. So let's try that. So I can say sales, or I can say int ampersand, what do you say, quota. Okay, so here, instead of sending sales, okay, instead of referencing sales anywhere, if I just say cout quota, okay, so what's going to happen then? That's going to be the same as saying sales. So let's run this. So before the commission, I should see sales number there. See there, the first one, that is, it's like using the same variable. Okay, exactly the same variable. So so that is how you create it. And then after that, once you create that, you can just use it. The only difference is when you use in functions, when you are passing parameters, normally, like I said, there are two different components of the memory, right? The variables of the main remain with the main, the variables of the function will remain with the function. But if you want the same variable location to be used, so for in this example, sales, right? You want to actually send only a reference to sales here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm creating a reference to the sales here. So whatever change happens to sales should happen, should affect the main also. So I'm just gonna like fake it here, saying sales equal to sales plus 1. Okay, let's run this code now. So just for mark purposes, I added 1,000 to sales. So you can see before I call the function, my sales, let me see, how do I annotate this thing? So you can see my sale here is just the first line denotes my original sale amount. After I call the commission, calculate commission, see I updated line number 7, sales plus 1,000, because I added that. Now my sales value updated because I am using sales as reference. All I had to do was send the ampersand. So instead of creating 2 copies, there is only 1 copy of sales that is being used inside the function and outside. Same thing with the quota also. If you just want to directly declare here, I could have sent quota here also. It would have been the same thing. There is no difference. You can see here it is the same output. There is no difference at all. So just reference is basically where there are no two copies are not maintained. They both refer, the 2 names refer to the same variable content. In terms of pointers, a pointer is a variable that stores the address of another variable. Okay, as long as you know how to use them, it should be fine. So you can see sale pointer, salary pointer is a pointer. This guy is reference. Okay. Okay, so we have an assignment today, part 2. Here you go. So here we are talking about a function you have to create to calculate the surface area, height, radius of a cylinder. You have to declare a variable called area, set it to 25. Then we create a pointer to that area, and then we send the pointer. We send height, radius as reference, pointer as pointer. Okay, the input for this will be just similar to how we did here. We send a pointer and reference, similar to that. We will calculate the area using this. For pi, you can use 3.14 as the value. And then there is also one criteria here. If the value of height and radius, if they are going to be less than 5, we just want to set it to 5. So that is where the reference comes in. And for the area, you are going to use the pointer to calculate the area. And then we are going to be actually displaying the values in the main program. Okay, if anything gets confusing, don't worry, give it your best. You can always resubmit work for credit. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.